is what Michael's doing. I already did the weed eating. Such a beautiful day today. We're enjoying it. He just flipped me off. He's having a drink of Santa milk. Wait till you see the glass. I want to see her.
Heidi has no bra on.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream. Howdy YouTube, welcome to RVDaydream. What you doing? It's been a while since we had just a normal little update, huh? Yeah, things have been going pretty good here. However, doesn't stop the work. Actually, the work has gotten much more hectic, I should say. The last video that I've done was Heidi and I showing that we picked up that new truck. And you can see it's already gone because Heidi's going to drive it back and forth to work until we get about 1,000 miles on it, or we can make a trip or something that we'll put about 1,000 miles on it before we tow, because that's what the manual suggests. There's different schools of thought on break-in on everything. Generators, mowers, chainsaws, mopeds. Some people think that you should do like most of the manufacturers say, and that is run whatever it is for whatever warm break-in period that's required at the very beginning, and then just take it easy and drive it normally and let it see a lot of different ranges as far as you know, highway speed, RPM fluctuations, like in the case of a vehicle, transmission shifting patterns that, you know, it gets to go through all different types of shifts just so it can learn the system. Now, I believe in that as far as the computer learning, but on engines, on, you know, especially small engines, the school of thought there is, again, going through what the manufacturer says, you know, putting the right oil in there, letting it break in, doing its job, letting it go through a heat cycle, you know, just normal use. But I kind of like to push it for two reasons. One, that's probably, you know, the severe conditions that it might see on down the road, and you want it to be able to already have traveled that territory, if you want to use that analogy. So, you know, the piston, the camshaft, the rings, the connecting rods, they've all seen that kind of RPM and that kind of heat and that kind of temperature prior to you being out on the road and putting something to the test. Then there's other people that say run it like you stole it, you know, just beat it to death, and that way it gets broke in. Well, I sometimes dabble in that a little bit, but not very much. I'm not sure when you're seeing this, but basically tomorrow for me, Heidi will be leaving the truck here, and I have to go pick up the cap. Can you believe it? Yeah, the new cap is sitting at the dealer. I told them I needed to, of course, do all the wiring for the electrical, and yeah, so they had to set up an appointment. So it'll be nice to get the cap on there, see what it looks like. I mean, the truck looks awful long without the cap, so hopefully adding some more height to the bed maybe takes away from that to some extent. I don't know. I care less. I told Heidi, I flat out last night, I said, hey, listen, I'm going to be 100% honest. I got junk I'm kicking here. I'll talk about that in a second. I said, I'll be 100% honest. I said, I wish we didn't have the cap anymore. Didn't even hear of the cap, didn't even know the cap existed, for all the frustration that I've been through. But more importantly, because I keep on talking about fifth wheels. And that's just talk, guys. It literally is just talk. But you know, things lead into other things. Not right now. I really want to use this. I want to get this thing out. I want to actually utilize it. So apparently the rumor is that a lot of these parks are starting to open, so that you can actually, you know, go enjoy camping on some level. I haven't heard anything about the state parks yet, but hopefully that's the case. All right, so what do I have going on? Let's talk about that. Well, I've had my son tearing apart his van. Now, he's done it on his own accord. This is all the further he's got. He only spends a little bit of time because, for the most part, we've been running around with that truck, getting all our bills taken care of. And I told him, I said, this is what you need to take off. And I just kind of pointed to some stuff. And so far, he's done a good job. He got the fan shroud off. Of course, he's drained the coolant. And he did take off the fan and the clutch, which he's got a new clutch for his fan. I'm glad he did. I told him to, but I'm glad I looked in here too today, because I found that this heater hose is wore. It's been occasionally rubbing up against the idler pulley or the tensioner. So well, that's got some movement in it too. I might have to see if that's something he needs. We'll pay attention to that a little bit later. Okay, so here's the fan and the clutch, and there's this antifreeze he's recouping. There is his air box, stuff like that. But I've got stuff I've got to do too. Obviously, all this stuff has to go onto the new truck, which, you know, as far as when Heidi's driving it, it's not going to give me a chance to really do that. We have our new rear floor mat coming in. We'll have to sell that one at the yard sale, I guess. Somebody's probably going to have an extended cab somewhere. And yeah, I want you guys to check out this. Look at this. What could be in here? That's right. These are all solar panels. Now, I could put all these solar panels on our RV. However, one of them's going for our son's van. And I'll be doing an installation on that. I don't know how in depth I'm going to kind of dabble the line between this is the product and this is kind of a review, and this is what I'm doing, and this is kind of the installation. I don't think I want to do a step-by-step on it, but the company was really nice enough to send us this stuff so we can check it out. Here's an MPPT solar charge controller, and there's some cables, there's some brackets. I got some more stuff in the house. There's still some more stuff that I have to buy. UPS did a pretty good wham-bam job on this. Hopefully it don't feel damaged. Just feels like looks like it's a rip tear, and it wrinkled it up, so it didn't get impacted. But yeah, these are 170 watt panels. So at some point I've got to get those on top of the RV. I don't think we're going to do a full-blown installation right yet for our RV, but at least I can get the panels up there. And then from that point, we'll see where it goes. But yeah, 170 watts each. I figure I got 4 of them. That should do pretty well. And I don't even know if that'll happen. I may just throw them in the back of the truck for a while once we're traveling. But we've got some time. We got a lot of stuff that we have to do. I just wanted to give you an update. A lot of things happening. And on top of that, of course, downsizing. I've got a rototiller that's back there, or a cultivator. And this is the perfect time of year to sell it. And it's a Honda 4-stroke, and it is the best that you can buy. It's not even new. These things came out, I don't know how many years ago, and they are the Honda EU 2200 or the Honda EU 2000 generator of cultivators. I mean, they're just incredible. They purr, they start, they run perfect. They do a great job. There's just nothing about them that's bad, other than when you don't need them, and that's our case. Well, looks like the post lady went. Let's go see what we got. I got some more stuff coming in today, stuff for the truck. I've got work just piling up. You know that. Today we've got to go get the new cap on the new truck. It's been a while. I'm having a hard time contacting Lear about one last issue that I'm having, I guess you could say. The model that we're picking up is one model down from the one that we originally purchased, and it's roughly about $300 less than the one that we originally purchased. And I told him, you know, how about, you know, refunding the difference, since in fact you're giving me now a cap that is supposed to be, you know, a lesser cap as far as its design. And I think it has to do with the side windows. Other than that, the cap's pretty much identical. It looks the same, except for the side windows. And you know how much trouble I had with the side window there, so that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, going with that lesser cap. I put some silicone on the front here. Maybe I'll trim it before I go. I got to see what time I need to be there. I think I need to be there in about 45 minutes, and it's probably about a 30-minute drive, so I got just a little bit of time to talk to you guys and get it done. Let me go show you what I'm talking about. I got the manual. I finally read through it all. I suggest you guys do the same thing. I did that with the last truck. You learn a lot that way, let me tell you. A lot of stuff that you think you may know, and actually you don't. I put the tonneau cover on last night just to keep the bed a little bit more dry than what it would be without it. We did get our, oh, wasn't that funny? I almost grabbed looking for the third door, or the back door. We got the floor mat in here. We had to order that, of course, like I said before. I got to get this stuff out because I got to get that tonneau cover off. I don't want to have to haul the tonneau cover back. But it did rain last night. Let's go ahead and get that there. Let me get some of this stuff inside here too, so it's not hanging out in my pockets. Heidi and I is discussing, I mean, we all kid around about it, but I really don't, guys. I really don't like the clutter that I had going on. It's all functionality. You know, we had the Wii Boost mount over here for this, you know, the cell data. On that side, I had a wireless charger for my phone. And then, of course, we had the GPS mounted here. And then I had the Easy Pass. I had a rear camera, an additional rear camera, in conjunction with the GPS. And then we had a camera mount up here. And, of course, I had the power connection for all that. That was down here. And it was pretty cluttered looking. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a better way of doing things, but we'll try it. Let me go ahead and get this manual in its little slot. There we go. And let me show you what I was doing back here. You can see, yeah, water got in there. Yeah, it's still tacky too. It's going to take a few days for all this to cure. So I think I'll leave that. I might be able to get it with when the cap's on. But yeah, at least the water's on the outside there. It shouldn't travel any further. I had bricks on this last night before we went to bed. Or I should say before I put the tonneau cover on. And I didn't like the way that they looked, and we were supposed to get a little bit of wind, so I went ahead and took the bricks off. And of course, yeah, see, this side sealed pretty good. This is the side that I really had a problem with on the old one, but there's a lot of silicone in there. I squirted quite a bit even on that side. So let me take the tonneau cover off. Let's take a look inside, see what it looks like. I didn't put this on very well. I just threw it on. So you can see there's just a little bit of water right here. And again, I didn't put the tonneau cover on the way that I should. And there's no seal on the front like there's supposed to be. But I'll tell you what, this tonneau cover, this is probably one of the best deals that you could possibly get on these things. I'm impressed with this for how inexpensive it is. Go ahead. There, I just snapped that up. Let me go ahead and, well, here, I'll keep you looking at this so you can see how easy it is to do. It's pretty interesting how simple they've made this. I remember back in the day, you used to have to put snaps on your vehicle, and all along the bed you had to do, I mean, there's all kinds of crap you had to do. But none of that anymore. These things just flip right out of the way. So if you're in a situation that you need to take this off, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy. You've seen what I had to do for the back. There's a safety strap on here, so it doesn't basically blow away in case somehow it comes loose from the bed, which I doubt it. I can't imagine that happening. We'll go ahead and get this loosened up here. I wish they would have put clamps similar to the ones that were in the back up here, but I can understand why they want it. They want something a little bit more secure and permanent, that won't, you know, obviously get jacked up. But yeah, isn't it cool? I mean, basically this thing's ready to be stored. Let me do the other side out of camera view here. Now, whenever we get ready to put the bed rug in, this is the kind of thing that I noticed on these aluminum bodies, even with this bed liner. Look down through here. I don't know if you can see that, but there's light. You can see all the way to the ground. Now, there are some drain holes that are in the front. That's what those are up there, down that way. But you can see the ground in different places, like right through there. You can see it back through here. So what I'm going to do is I'll put urethane in all those places, like I did on the last truck, all along, because I don't want to where if we run through a lot of heavy water, heavy puddles, that it may come up through this way, which it could. Yeah, can't believe how quiet this thing is. It sounds good. When you get into it a little bit, you can tell. Kind of got that big block rumble, even though it don't look like a big block. I know it's big, but not like that 460 size. Alright guys, sorry about that. I forgot to give you an update at the dealer, and then I stopped to get something to eat. I went to the scales to get this thing weighed. I want you guys, as you're thinking about this or listening to this, tell me what you think the weight is compared to the old truck. Now that I have a cap on, I wanted to weigh it. Interesting. Quite interesting. Anyways, it looks like they did a pretty good job. You know, it looked this way before, so as far as sitting forward, I don't know. It's all right. I maybe I'll fill that gap with silicone with urethane if I think that might be a problem, but I do see a seal in there, so hopefully that's it. And if you look, this is the biggest difference between what we had. This window is fixed. I mean, there is no hinge. There's nothing. It's sealed, but then you can see there's a little wing window in the back. This is the only one that opens, and it has a hinge, of course, the whole way. Other than that, this is identical to our old one. I got to peel this off. I'm, you know, nothing against the company or anything. I don't like that stuff on there, personally. So you can tell, I keep on forgetting this don't have a shock. I got to get that on there. But yeah, you can see the difference there. The window is, you know, mounted. It's flat out mounted. And the only thing that opens again is this little wing window now. So hopefully, I mean, it's much more secure. It's less flexible. I can only guess that it's got to be better than what that other one it was, as far as it's, you know, being secure to the truck, to the cap. I still need to get a tailgate seal that goes down here and all the way around. That's what I had last time. I really like that. Of course, I got to get the bed rug in here, which requires 80 grit sandpaper. I've got to sand basically all this across here, and I think there's a, I don't know, I just know that I got to do a lot of sanding. I have a kit that's coming for the reinstallation of the bed rug. Once I sand it, I got to take alcohol and rub it all down, and then I have to put a adhesion promoter from 3M down, let it dry, and then apply the Velcro. Unfortunately, I got to do that through the entire bed. I'm not a big fan of any of that, but oh well, what are you going to do, you know? I haven't looked in here yet. Let's see what's up in here. Hopefully, there's some brats, you know, some things in here. Yep, there is. Just two, just like last time. And then there's a little kit here, that little box. So, yeah. I feel more confident about the side windows compared to what we had. And I feel a little bit more confident with a little bit of what's going on here as far as the leaking that, you know, was going on compared to now. How that actually plays out, I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't know. I don't like the way this is bent. See this thing, how it's curved here? Watch. Look how tight that is up against there. I mean, it's good, but it's also bad that it's right up against the bed. I mean, there's rubber there. No, it's actually rubbing the paint already. But yeah, it's, I don't know. One of those things, man. What are you going to do? You just deal with what you're given and hope that everything goes okay. Oh, almost forgot, guys. Almost let you go without telling you. So getting back to where I was saying, our old truck was, of course, a 2019 F-250 Super Duty. So that's the 3/4 ton. It did have the 10,000 GVW package. It did have a snowplow prep package, and it was a super cab. It did not have the FX4 package, and it, of course, was a 4x4. It was pretty much all the same options as this one, all the way around, except this one now, of course, is an F350. This has a crew cab instead of a super cab, and it has that 48-gallon tank, which the tank is just over half full, I believe, right now. Definitely over half full. So what do you think it weighed? Well, the old truck weighed 7,000 pounds with the cap on it. I did a video on that a while ago. Yeah, 7,000 pounds. So how much do you think this one weighs? I'm just going to keep on dragging it on. Everybody scream at each other in the room. Everybody scream out a number. Say, what? It weighs blah, blah, blah. So anyways, I weighed it. It weighs 7,600 pounds. This weighs 600 pounds more than our old truck. Can you believe that? 600 pounds. That's like 2 more me's with a little bit extra weight on. So Heidi's in her smoking jacket. What do you think about the cap?
I think it looks nice.
So we're slowly getting our banking together and straightened out. We had to open some different accounts, you know, like joint accounts and stuff that were more in line with what we were doing, because our accounts were separate for the most part. We only had, I had a USAA account that Heidi was on, but I wasn't on any of Heidi's accounts, and I couldn't transfer money from one account to the other. We just sent each other money all the time through Zelle or Facebook. So I'm going to tell you that if you're going to go full time, I think it would be almost impossible to have completely 100% separate accounts. And you know, in this day and age, you can transfer money so fast, but it's just the hassle of doing so. And for tax reasons and stuff like that, it's hard to keep track if it, you know, who paid what, how much do you have. I mean, we can't, we just took it upon each other's, you know, to where, okay, I have some extra money, I'll go ahead and buy this, and I'll buy that, and I'll get this. And then same with Heidi. She's got extra money, so she'll buy this, she'll buy that. But we never knew where we really stood, you know. Maybe both of us were close to broke and we didn't realize it. So anyways, now things are a little bit more clear. Okay, so it's raining finally, so the cap will get tested. Think it'll pass or fail?
Well, if it fails, then you're going to have to get your caulking gun out there.
Yeah.
Because
I'm going to fill it full of urethane. We're done with it.
Just, this needs to stay on there until we don't need it anymore.
Yep. Yep. Which would be, let's see, Thursday next week's when we pick up our new fifth wheel.
There's not a fifth wheel out there that I like yet, so tell them
that's
talking
that's the
about
truth.
The fifth wheel.
That's the truth. And Heidi's been locking every day. She's been shopping. She's been online for hours looking at fifth wheels. And just kidding, guys. Seriously, we like to tease about that. We have no intention on getting a fifth wheel anytime soon. Right?
We're not getting a fifth wheel. No.
Yeah, at some point, I think that Heidi will want a fifth wheel, but I don't know when that will be. And honestly, I think after we start wearing this RV out to some extent, at that point, we might have already decided that...
I think we need to get past the negative equity part.
of the RV.
Yeah.
Of the RV. Now, it's all paid off, so there is no negative equity.
Right.
But
there is, in a way.
Well, yeah, sort of. I mean, if we trade it in, obviously, what we paid off.
Right.
We're not going to get that.
Yeah, but we did good by paying it off early.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's so exciting. That's the best part. All right, I'm going to stop this because my arm's getting sore.
Well, you've been videotaping all day?
Not really. I've been doing nothing all day. Standing, getting the cap put on. That's it.
I think it looks really good.
Yeah, I was hoping, like I just posted on Facebook, that the truck would look a little less long because it went taller. You know when tall people are really fat and you can't tell, or sometimes you can. But anyways, when people are really tall, sometimes you can't tell how wide they are or how long they are or something. Anyways, that's what I was hoping. The truck, it wasn't. The cab was tall, and it is a bigger cab, but still, when I put the cap on it, I thought, oh, good, that'll take away, make it look a little bit more proportionate, and it doesn't. Now it just looks big overall. Everything looks big on it.
Large SUV.
Yeah, it looks like a big excursion.
I don't know. I think it looks better than without the cap.
Right.
Because then it just looks like, I don't know. I think it looks weird because it's so long.
Yeah, it looks like a train or something.
Yeah.
Now, like somebody had mentioned, it looks like a hearse.
No, it don't.
It looks like a hearse.
The Chevys look like hearse.
I'm going to get a skull and crossbones. Put it on there.
No.
Yeah. Heidi's burial services.
No.
All right, we're off here. We'll pick this up later. Bye. Good morning, YouTube. A new day. Yeah, it's a nice day. We had, currently, right now, it's noon. Well, actually, it's about 20 till noon, but it's 70 degrees. I mean, can you believe it? Now, for all you people that aren't from this area, we had a 70-degree day in March. We had a 70-degree day in December. Other than those two 70-degree days, this is the first 70-degree day we've had. So November we had regular 70-degree days. We had a few, definitely. But December, we only had one, which was kind of a freaky thing. And then, of course, nothing in January, nothing in February. March, we had one. And then now. So it's nice. But it's I mean, think about that. Since November, we've only seen 3 days that the high temperature's been 70 degrees. Of course, it's going to get warmer. The averages are going up. The sun's getting higher in the sky every day. So, very windy, though. Very, very windy. So, here's the deal. Oh, man. We're supposed to have some pretty decent gust. I have to take the flagpole down. I don't know if you guys can tell. I'll try to flip you around here and show you. After all of these years, it's broken right there. I could push this over right now. I mean, I could just literally take and push on this and it'd push over. So it's not going to take much for the wind to bring it over. So it was time for us to get a new flag. The problem is I've got to get this pipe here. I'm going to have this cut off. And then we'll have to maybe cut this off and then weld this to this if there's enough good metal there. But you can see it's pretty pitted. Now, this is a heavy, heavy flagpole. Heidi's grandfather retired from what's called a PTC Alliance, but it's Alliance tube. And this is all they do. They make tube there. They make pipe. That's why we have a big steel pipe that goes underneath here, starting around the steps, all the way underneath the driveway. And then it so far out it turns into PVC again and goes into the ditch. And that's why that light pole is made out of tube. Anyways, there's tube everywhere. So they welded this up years ago. And yeah, oh well, it's time. The thing's been through a lot. So the reason I'm out here is there is supposed to be some sort of a storm that might come or some rain that might come. I need to work on the truck to put in, those inner fenders and at least the floor mat or the mud flaps, and those inner wheel well liners on the rear. But the lawn needs mowed, and we had some rain last night. Let's look in the back of the truck, see if, I doubt it, but let's see if any water got in based on the little bit of rain we got last night. I didn't think I didn't think there'd be enough here to get water in, but I thought I would check. It feels weird, but I don't know if that's water that I necessarily feel. It'd be up here if it did, or maybe now it's on this side. Yeah, we didn't really have that much rain. I don't like this crap coming off the bed liner the way it's sprayed up in there, but anyways, we didn't have that much rain, and so far so good. I'll wait until we get a real good downpour. And something else I got to do is start prepping this thing, which that's going to take a while. I love the bed rug. You guys know that. I've talked about it in the past, but putting it in, the prep work on just painted metal, that takes a little bit. I mean, you got to clean every place that Velcro is going to attach to. And there's lots of Velcro that holds it in, because they want to make sure as you drive down the road, if you don't have a cap, because if you guys remember the bed rug, what it does is it allows you to put dirt in it, sand, whatever you want, and then basically take it to the car wash, and you can pressure wash it out, you can sweep it out, you can vacuum it out, you can do whatever you want. And it's marine grade carpet. It's the kind of stuff you find in a boat. It's actually a pretty decent quality. It's kind of like this stuff here, which again, marine grade. But whenever you're whenever you're exposing something in the bed that is that big to the wind driving down the road, they don't want it to suck up out of the bed, because you get that cowling effect, in the back when you don't have a cap on, that basically causes like a little vacuum pocket that could pull that out. So they got a lot of Velcro that holds it in place. Now, I don't need all that Velcro because I have a cap, but I do want most of that Velcro in case I'm pulling or dragging something in and out that might be heavy. Back whenever I had my own business, I had a bed rug in the old F-150, and it was the same bed rug that was in the old F-250. I'm talking about my old body style, the blue and white one. And I was mowers in and out. I was dragging mower decks, rototillers. I mean, all kinds of stuff that if I didn't have it secured in the bed, it potentially could have slid out. Especially on the tailgate, I definitely will have to make sure that the Velcro on the tailgate's in place, because you're always sliding stuff over this. And even I'm working on stuff, on the tailgate. But to do all that Velcro in here, I mean, there's numerous contact points. There's probably 10, 20, probably 20, 40, I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, so I'm thinking maybe let's cut that number down and say it's 35, and then there's 5 across, so that'll put up to 40. There's a few back here, that'll probably put it up to 45, and that's little Velcro 3M lock tabs in all those places I just mentioned. And then you have long strips here, you have a couple long strips in the middle, and then you have a long strip across the front. That all, again, I have to sand down all of this and put a prep or a adhesive promoter from 3M down for that to work. But so far, I mean, the little bit of rain we got, that's good. That's good. But I got a lot of work to do. Oh, I forgot. I got to put that shock on here too. That tailgate, I'm not used to it. Yeah, I'm not used to this either. I can't believe that's... I mean, it gets the job done. It's just not as good as what that other one was. All right, I got to mow this lawn. I don't know what it's going to be like because it will be a little wet. So, yeah, about every 3 days. If you guys, again, not from this part of the country, in the springtime, especially if we had more sun and more heat, which this is April was a cooler than average month. This is actually kind of funny. April almost ended up being more cool than March did overall, which I don't even know how that's possible. But it was cooler than average. And even with those cooler temperatures, the amount of sun that we get, even though we've had, I think in April, we only had 3 or 4 days that did not have a trace of rain or some kind of rain. So basically, we've seen cloud cover almost the entire month of April. But even with that, during this time of year, with this type of grass, you basically have to mow about every 3 days. Well, that didn't go quite as planned. Got stuck in the rain. Look at all this grass that just stuck to me like glue. Oh, I forgot what I was going in here for. Yeah, the rain wasn't... We got waves coming through as far as this rain's concerned. And I've mowed in the rain before. I don't like this mower for the rain because the deck does such a good job of sucking grass up that it... Yeah, ugh. That it really packs the deck. It really packs it with grass when it's wet out. I'll try to wipe it off a little bit. Don't like to put my crap away. You know, when they say run it hard, put it away wet. I don't really like to do too much to that effect. I know the deck is kind of out of control. I mean, I could wipe it off, but I don't think it would do much good. But yeah, this is a good mower. Somebody's going to get a good mower. I got a really good deal on it, so somebody else gets a good deal on it when we get rid of it. The guy for the gravel said that they can't get gravel right now, but he's going to come out and give us an estimate for all the gravel we want to do. You can see the grass was clumping up a little bit. So then there's this bird here. This one will fly away. Do you see it in the bough of the tree? See how it's chirping? It's all pissed off that I'm walking towards it. Yeah, I get it. I'm not coming after you. Oh, no. Oh, it's pissed. So anyways, then there's another one down here. Man, we're going to have a ton of birds. You can see that one there. She won't move. She'll sit there. It's a different type of bird, obviously. I don't know if you can see it again on camera here, but yeah, that's kind of cool, huh? Let me try to zoom you in, see if we can do it that way. I've never tried to zoom on this camera before, but we'll try it this time. Because it's a digital zoom. Yeah, I don't know if you can see her. So we're gonna have a bunch of birds. Oh, she decided to fly away. Go figure that out. Huh. She didn't. Hell, I mowed all around the tree. She didn't move at all. Probably other birds screaming. Scared. All right, that was relatively easy. Got the inner fenders in here now. Got the mud flaps on. Looks a little bit normal again. I'm still not going to do the bed rug though. I think I gotta go take down that flagpole. I think this is going to finish it out for today. Well, I could put the vent visors on. It is nice and warm. Oh crap. See how things work? All right, so the vent visors are up. This goes on pretty, you know, after you've been, I've done so many, I can't even begin to count. The only thing that's changed over the years putting these on is I gotta take my glasses off now to line everything up. So it wasn't that the vent visors changed, but once they get on there, they're pretty well on there, but you do have to do good prep work. Definitely make sure it's clean. Definitely use alcohol to straighten the, you know, make sure that's prepped, which the alcohol, they give you alcohol pads, but then you got to make sure, you know, it's a pressure adhesion. Wait a minute, a pressure adhesive, sorry. So you want to make sure you push really hard, which I do, and then I like move it and push on it and all that happy stuff. So coming right along. I'm still not doing the bed rug today. The flagpole's down. It's back there sitting next to the garage. Not a big deal to do, you just got to lift it off, but it is heavy. All right, I'm finished. I put some decals on the truck and on the RV, and yeah, I'm done for now. We'll pick this up later. Holy cow, look at all that salt. I love salt. I love it. That's how we got to buy it. No, I'm kidding. I don't love salt. That's for something else. But I was waiting for another delivery, and boy, today's temperature is not very nice. It's 40 something out. Heidi took the truck to work today, and yeah, we got to get the front window tinted on the truck, and then we're going to get the windshield tinted, you know, so far down. I hated that on the other one. I hated that on the F-250 too. I need to have a sun shield to a certain extent, but anyways, let's show you what we got. For everybody that keeps on telling me, those tires are going to explode on your trailer, I went ahead and got these here. Oh, that's not so bad. Oh, very good. Oh man, this is the one thing I was dreading, and man, I'm loving what I'm seeing here. Oh, that one's not as good, but still not bad. Yeah, not bad. Okay, so what am I looking at? I'm looking at the date codes of these tires. This is a load range higher than what the trailer calls for, and they're good Goodyear Endurance. This is supposed to be the tires to get, supposedly. So that's what I got. Just making sure they don't look used or something crazy like that, which they don't. But more importantly was the date code. You know, if these things only last 3 to 5 years because of all the heat and stuff that they have to see, and being parked for long periods of time, or not, even just in general use. You don't want ones that are too old, and the oldest one looks like this one here. And to read the date codes, I'm sure everybody knows how to do this, but if not, I'll just refresh your memory. That date code is 4019, and all the rest of the date codes are 5219. So that one there was made the 40th week of 2019, and all the rest were made the 52nd week of 2019. So this is going to be the end of September all the way up to October 6th of 2019. So October, November, December, January, February, March, April. We're right at the 6-month mark. Yeah, May, it's real close to even the 7th month mark if it's not October. And then these here are definitely at the 6-month mark. That's about all the older I would want to go. I don't know, maybe 8 months. I would go 8 months. But yeah, this is cool. I'm kind of curious how they compare to the other ones. Again, these are one load range higher. This load range is E. E as an excellent, as an endurance. And these are D's. I'm almost positive these are D's. We can look on the tire, but... And I know people's had good luck with these. Yeah, there you go, load range D. I've heard people say they've had good luck with them. But why? Heidi said, go for it. We talked about it a little bit, and I said we could run these for at least, 3,000 miles, 4,000 miles before I would expect even the crappiest tires to have a problem, as long as I kept up with tire pressures. But she said, go ahead and go with it. It makes sense to her. She's scared to death more than I am about it. So that's what we're going to do. I got something else coming. Let me tell you about that. That's what that salt, I was talking about that. Holy cow. Whew, I'm out of breath. These things are a lot heavier than what I remember trailer tires being. And, the tires defense, I guess you can say, is... as far as picking up, the heaviest I ever picked up though was D loads, and I think they were 14-inch. Pretty sure they were 14-inch tires. Yeah, 225, 75, 15. I'm just going to double check all the sizes, just make sure no mistakes were made. Hey, listen, no screwing around. I'm going to put the link in the description for these. You guys know how I do that stuff. And the reason being is we checked Tire Rack, and it was more expensive. I got these things shipped. We ordered them on Wednesday. Today's Friday. And they were cheaper than what Tire Rack could get them to us. So what's the other thing we're getting? Well, I've been thinking about it for a while, and it's because of RJ's Adventures. If you guys are watching, hey, how you doing? Haven't heard from you for a while. No big deal. I get it. You guys are enjoying yourselves. Sometimes you just don't want to talk. I understand that entirely. Or maybe you don't have anything to say. I understand that entirely too. So they had, they boondock, and he did a video about a year ago or so, and then he did another one just more recently, and it got Heidi and I thinking about it, and I reached out and talked to a couple people on forums about it. And basically we got a water softener, a portable water softener. We got the double standard water softener from On The Go, which I'll do a review on that because it's got really good reviews. And basically all I'm going to do is just show the thing in action. And we're going to run the softened water from the house through the portable softener into the RV, and we're going to go ahead and fill our tank so I can de-winterize the whole thing. It's one thing that we were holding off because normally we go get water elsewhere, and even then that's not the best. We've run into situations where some of the campgrounds we've gone to, even locally, the water's even though we have a filter that we put on the hose that feeds the RV, and we have a filter that's built into the RV, the water is still a little questionable. I mean, those filters only go down to so many microns, and that doesn't necessarily do the job. But with this portable softener and the 2 filters that we have, that is all the better we want it to be. Now, we don't cook with the water. We don't drink the water. We've never done that in our RVs. We carry separate 5-gallon drinking water with us, or if we're in a bind, we'll buy a case of bottled water. But we don't like to do that just because all the plastic bottles and having to dispose of them and stuff. It's just not something that we like to do, except we do have plastic bottles that we reuse, which you're not supposed to, and refreeze, and then put them in the RV for keeping the refrigerator cool or the freezer cool as we drive. And also the case of the truck, we'll put them in there, and as they melt, we can drink them as we drive down the road. Again, we have coolers now, electric coolers that we can do that with, but that's what we're doing. I think I rambled on enough. Oh, just to let you know, I don't know if I've updated you on this, but our son's van, all his water pumps bolts broke off. Not only that, I can't get the water pump off unless we cut it off. Look at all these water pump bolts. Snap, snap, snap. There's the snap on that one. Snap. Another snap. And that snap. I'm worried about this snap the most. See how far this is in before it snapped? I don't know. It's the threads. They don't look like there'll be very many threads sticking out of the block, because I'm sure that made not only the water pump but the timing cover too. So ain't got time for this stuff. I mean, when I was younger, when I was his age, I didn't mind doing this work. You know, it's work. It's hard. It's a pain in the ass. But in his case, he's just like, oh well. I know he wants me there to kind of, you know, walk him through it, and because I know tools and, you know, tools in there and the usage of tools so much more than he does. Even though he can fix stuff, I don't think that he necessarily knows when to use a 90-degree, you know, cutoff tool versus an oscillating cutoff tool versus a grinder versus a body saw, you know, to do this stuff. And basically that's what I got to do, is lay out all these tools for him and say, hey, listen, here's the tools. You don't want to cut here. You don't want to cut this. You don't want to nick that. And see if he can salvage his timing cover. Because if he can salvage the timing cover and we can get the bolts out of there, then at that point, no big deal. This is going to be a nice, easy repair, and he'll be on the road a lot faster. But if I got to pull that timing cover, that means I got to drop the oil pan to some extent. That means I got to redo the crank seal. I got to pull the harmonic balancer. I got to pull the radiator out, so we've got some room to work, which isn't a big deal at this point, but still. And I also, at that point, if the timing cover's off, might as well replace the timing chain and gears. I mean, it's got 100,000 miles on it, so, you know, all fun. Sounds like all fun. All right, I'm done. Hope this got all the information that you wanted for the time being. Got stuff to do. I got to go back in and edit video for you guys, though. And as always, guys, we hope to see you out there. Bye.